my brother's old neighbor had a special needs kid, and I'm not sure what age he was, but he was a very large guy. Like,
let's say 37.
No, I think he was probably around like 17
12.
or 18. Might even been younger.
Okay. 6 to 28.
But he was like 6'4", 300 pounds.
Yeah.
But had the mentality of like an 8-year-old. And like he was nice kid. When I first met him when we were doing some trick-or-treating, like he shook my hand and like almost crushed my hand.
Well, that's because
His dad was like, "Hey, no, you need to let go of his hand. Hey, you done shaking his hand."
Do you think he was strong, or your hands are really weak?
A little bit of both.
I was about to say that, dude.
Yeah.
Our listeners don't know what Derrick looks like, but Derrick is a very frail.
All
You
they've
ever
seen
seen
is
Yeah.
his nipple, and you can tell from the nipple that he has probably the weakest bones of the group.
You ever seen Slender Man?
I don't have a limp wrist handshake though. There's
I've
some
shaken your
firmness
hand,
to
and
it.
I've had to really straighten your wrist out for you. It's been like a dead fish. I've had a lot of dead fish, and I was pretty grossed out by your handshake. Clammy, limp. Oh, like a rotten salmon.
That's so gross.
You ever seen like a broken branch on a tree
Yep.
that the wind just
Oh,
destroyed?
just works
That's what
over.
Derrick's handshake is
Yeah.
like.
Have you ever picked up? Let's say you've been to a spawning river and there's there's the carcasses lying on the beach. Have you ever tried to pick one up and it just disintegrates in your hand, just kind of melt? That's what Derrick's handshake is like.
You ever picked up wet cardboard?
Oh, so much wet cardboard. Like cardboard, not just a slight rain, like a mist, but like a torrential downpour that you can really hear on your roof.
Have you ever picked up a?
That's what we call a throwback.
You ever picked up a
Call that.
20-year-old fun noodle?
20-year-old fool.
It disintegrates in your hand as you pick it up and hold it. It can't even float anymore.
It just sinks to the
It
bottom.
just sinks to the bottom.
Have you ever been swimming and maybe like the ocean, and then you get out a little too deep, but you can still touch it? Oh, and then all of a sudden the kelp is just there grabbing your ankle?
Yeah.
And it's scary because it's gross.
Yeah.
But it's also not strong. Like you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
That's Derrick's handshake.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is yesterday I was talking with Aaron and I was like,
You ever picked up spaghetti with your bare hands?
Like 3-day-old spaghetti.
Still in the water?
Yep. Oh, yeah, you strained it wrong. So you were talking to Aaron and practicing your handshake.
No, I wasn't practicing my handshake. I was
You
just-
need to practice your handshake.
Hello,
I was
madame.
talking to Aaron
Nice to meet
about
you.
topics for the recording, and I was like, yeah, I just like to have a couple extras, so I have some backups and that kind of stuff. And she's just like, well, does it really matter what your topic is, because they're just going to make fun of you and you're going to go off from there. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Pretty much.
Can we get Aaron on the podcast instead of Derrick? She sounds like she really gets it.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Sub.
Sub.
Tag
Not even
Tag her in.
sub. Trade.
Trade.
Mid-season trade. Derrick for Aaron.
There's
Really anger one of our friends, Beth, for not being the first lady on the podcast,
Right.
which I think would be quite fun.
Yeah.
And Beth, that's a shout out to you. You stole my kicker. Fuck you.
Tuck you, Beth.
Tuck you, Beth. Hashtag tuck you.
That's funny.
Yeah, so
Next topic.
13.
You done?
I can
13,
talk about
14.
kids eating candy all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids eating candy.
Sure.
I could talk about Derrick's shitty handshake all day, too.
Let's find more ways to describe it.
I mean,
Okay.
you had some pretty solid explanations.
Okay, you know, like when you see a really, really dirty floor,
Yeah. Okay. I've seen some.
and you look at this and you go, "Man, I got to mop this up," and then you pick it up and you're mopping, and then oh no, what happens? The handle breaks off of the mop part,
Yeah.
and then you have to pick up that mop part and put it back into the bucket. That's what Derrick's handshake is like.
Do you know when you're really tenderizing like hamburger and like just really mixing it all up to make some burgers?
Yeah.
And it's like gross, slimy, just mushy meat.
Yeah.
Derrick's handshake.
I think these are better than the help we got from the employee of the month a couple episodes ago.
Do you know when you're trying to help a cow give birth and you have to put that plastic glove all the way up to your shoulder,
Yeah.
reach in and really grab the calf?
And
That's
rip it
Derrick's
out.
handshake.
Yeah.
You're just like inside of a cow's vagina and you're just like, oh.
Ew,
Derrick's handshake.
ew.
Except at the end of that, you have a new cow and you're still with Derrick.
Yeah. You ever gotten trapped in a plastic bag?
No, but Derrick, tell us your story. Nailed it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, geek
All
chat.
right.
Have you ever gone to the store now that we have paper bags and you've bought like let's say 5 pints of ice cream?
Yeah.
And you put them in the paper bag and you're going home and you're trying to carry it, but it's falling apart because it's just disintegrating in your hand and it's cold and it's gross and it's like basically melt. Derrick's handshake.
You ever, like when you were kids, or when we were kids, and we would go to the ocean on a family trip, and we'd be having to make sandcastles.
I do, yes.
And then the water would come in, and it would get the sandcastle all groggy, and it would just basically just fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick's handshake. Donnie, you have a dog, right?
I do have a dog. Oh,
Great Dane?
I have a Great Dane. You know,
When you're picking
you have
up-
a you have
when
a
you're picking
tiny
up the
you have a
poop?
tiny dog, so you don't even know. But when I'm out with the Great Dane, and he usually shits like 3 times per walk, and they're usually the size of your corgi, and you have to pick those up with little bags, and it's like warm, but almost like too warm.
Yeah.
And it's you just gotta finagle
You
it
gotta
around
kinda
'cause
work-
it doesn't want to cooperate with your hand.
Yeah.
Derrick's handshake.
Derrick's handshake.
Oh, these are absurd. I love it.
You ever done like cleaning around your house
With
with spray bottles,
yes, I have.
and you're using the paper towels, and then you go over just a giant glob of water next to your sink, and then it's just wet and uncomfortable?
Yep.
Derrick's handshake. Derrick's is that the hashtag wet and uncomfortable?
Yep. Oh, there it is. There it is.
All
That's
right.
the title of the episode.
I got to record or write that one down 'cause that's good.
Because basically everything that we described
Yep.
is either wet and uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's both. Yeah.
A lot of that, yeah.
Derrick, why are your handshakes
There you go.
like that?
I just need to get
All of those things. Please
I need
explain
to
them one
get-
by one.
I need to get like one of them little like stress balls so I can get my handshake better
Right.
and just work it.
Can't do that with the fidget spinner. It
No.
has to be a stress
No.
ball.
Yep.
Yep. Fidget spinner just helps with the finger strength.
I don't know. No, do not go down there. No.